Let's take a look back and see how bad or how good some of my early photo edits were. Take a look back at some of the earlier photos and see how my editing is compared to now, and see if they were really bad or they're really good. I was shooting on the Nikon D3600, I believe, in a lot of these photos. Some of them are going to be the Nikon D5600. The oldest photos were definitely kit lenses. As they progressed, we got to the nifty 50, and it was a lens that worked and it was well, but it was better in manual than autofocus. I had to really manually focus this thing to get a good picture that I liked. It's good to learn the triangle, your ISO, your f-stop, and your shutter speed, and make sure that you know how to work your camera really well. There's automatic modes, and that's fine too, but manual is just something that I got used to, and that's what I shoot in most of the time, even though it means that I miss some shots sometimes. These were all edited in Lightroom Classic. That's all I've ever used, so this is what I've learned on, and that's what I'm comfortable with. And here we go. So here was one that was really interesting. Very great concept. However, if you look at this, you can see that it's just like way overexposed, and I don't know if I have the raw file of this anymore. There's a lot of photos I don't have the raw files for anymore, and this one though was pretty good, and it still gets used to this day. I've seen it reposted on social media. So, but this was a good photo. It's pretty good. Maybe if we find the raw file, maybe we'll re-edit this. We'll re-edit some of these and see what we can do. Here's another one that I did earlier in the photography days. This was a night that was impromptu. I got called up. I was ready for bed, and this band was going to film a music video at a brewery that I take pictures at, and I went down and took pictures. They were filming their video, and I took pictures. It was a fun night. This guy here, Steve, that was the first night I met him, and didn't talk to him again for a long time, and we became friends. He's a really cool guy. He's into a lot of things that I'm into. He's got a great little company and has far more knowledge in a lot of this than I do, and he's good. He's a good guy for me to talk to every once in a while. And here we go at night. This was actually not bad, I don't think. Like, this is pretty good. It's dark. It was, there's all the lights of the store and stuff. Nothing's overexposed really, so it looks pretty good to me. I don't know. It's just a fun little picture, the old school Peanuts gang there chilling. That's one of those quarter rods. You got to be old to remember that. I'm old enough to remember that. I don't know if a lot of people are. Here's one of a waterfall that I came across, and I wish that I knew what I was doing a little bit more when I took this picture. This one is just way too long of a shutter speed. I wanted to make the water look really cool, and by doing that, I ended up really just making the trees and bushes look terrible. That was not on purpose. Didn't mean to do that, but I'm sure at the time I thought this was a great picture. I thought it was going to be, like one of my best ever, and that's just not the case. I wish I could go back and retake this picture. Maybe one day I will. Now this one is absolutely one of my favorite pictures that I've taken of all time. This one here, I don't know what it is about it. The foreground, the clock, just everything was this one was really good, and I love this picture. This is a little pub. Had a lot of interesting stuff. This pub also has this couch here, and this picture I really liked as well. And as you can tell here, I still haven't learned a lot because it's crooked. If I would have straightened this out a little bit more, you can see, I'm a lot more pickier about that now. But this one just really looks good to me. I mean, it speaks to me. I love the dark pictures, and this one just really looks good to me. There's some old slot machines that we ran across in like a vintage store one day, and I snapped this picture real quick, took it home and edited it, and wanted it to kind of have like a retro vibe to it. And I was trying to learn how to do that. This is the best I could do. I like the colors. I don't know. There it is. Here's another nighttime picture. This is a barbershop pole, of course. I wish the bulb at the top would have been lit, but I like this one too. Looking back on this one, I would have definitely taken a different angle on it so it didn't look so wonky. But I like this one too. This is a nice picture. I love how the lights, the color of the lights there and everything. It just kind of makes it interesting to me. And I also got into wanting to get sunrise pictures, and this is one of the first sunrise pictures that I took, I believe. I was out in a park somewhere waiting for the sun. I sat right here and waited for the sun to come up and snap pictures until it got to right there. But this was like a really warm, tranquil kind of morning. You know, done down some coffee and just was out here waiting for the sun to come up. And this was nice. I believe it could have been probably shot a little better, probably edited a lot better. And this was the same morning. This was after the sun got up a little bit more, and I remember this was pretty good. And here's a little swampy swamp. This one was another one of my favorites that I really liked because it just kind of reminds me of back in the bayou in the deep south of Gulf of Mexico, Louisiana area, and I am no longer there, so this is kind of a little reminiscent of home. As we get in further in the years and such, started getting a lot of good pictures. Like this is from Stay One Brewing Company. I do a lot of pictures for them. Some of these really turned out well. There's a lot of my favorites in this. We can show off food. This is another business that I take pictures for, and some of these are really nice. I really love the lighting and the look of this place. It's like, it's so gorgeous inside there. You can't imagine how beautiful it can be in Now, as promised, let's try re-editing one of these photos that we saw. All right, here's that burger pic. Let's play with it a little bit. See, definitely would crop it out a little bit here. Boom, boom, boom. And sometimes it's just easier to hit auto and then go from there. To see, it does a pretty good job. You can play with the highlights, bring back all that detail, kill the whites some. Yeah, there we go. And we're gonna darken the shadows. We're gonna add a little bit of clarity and a little bit of texture, a lot of dehaze. Maybe a little vibrance. We'll come in, we're gonna hit that awesome denoise again, like this. All right, there we go. Denoise on there. I'm gonna slam that sharpen all the way up. Boom. Come back to our tone curve. Brighten that and darken this. Oh, there we go. There we go. I'm liking that. Okay, now I want to do a radial gradient on this one. Let's see here. Make it fit the burger. Maybe like that. I don't know why it always jacks up the contrast, highlights, and exposure every time I do it like this. Okay, where are we at? Okay, we want to invert that. That's the opposite way I want it. So we're going to invert that. Boom. Let's see here. We're going to create that contrast. We're going to kill the highlights. We're going to take the shadows and make them a little bit darker. We're going to bring down the whites, bring in the blacks. That I'm going to take the saturation out. Yeah, we're going to take the saturation all the way out. Let's see, we're going to do this. Dark. No texture, no clarity, a lot of dehaze, no grain, no sharpness, and some noise reduction. All right, and then there's our re-edited burger. I think that one's better. I think that one's better than the other one. So the biggest thing to keep in mind is just keep taking photos, keep editing, keep learning, keep going on and on and on, because that's the only way you're going to get better. So I'm going to keep doing that. Hopefully I get better and better. These are just very few examples of what I'm doing here lately, and it's got nothing to do with even video. That's a whole nother thing we can talk about right there. Video, that's my thing. I really like the video the most, but I really hope that like you can go back and take a look at some of your earlier edits and, you know, find some pride in what you've learned over time and see the progress that you're making in your photos. What's the one thing that you've learned over time about editing? Share with me something that that you feel is the key to successful editing to make you feel like you've done something really good and outstanding. We're gonna be doing more photography and video content on here, so if you want, the things down here, hit those bells and whistles and all that stuff, and join me. We'll keep doing things and stuff, and hopefully you will come back to check it out. So until next time, keep taking pictures.